Young man helps alien female diplomat with broken spaceship. What happened next? Melted hearts. The desert highway stretched endlessly under the blazing Arizona sun, shimmering with heat mirages that danced across the cracked asphalt. Carter wiped the sweat from his brow as his old pickup truck rattled along the lonely road. He was heading back to his small ranch after picking up supplies from town when he noticed something unusual in the sky, a streak of silver trailing smoke descending rapidly toward the mesa in the distance. "What the hell?" Carter muttered, squinting against the glare. The object wasn't moving like any aircraft he'd ever seen. It wobbled, spinning slightly, before disappearing behind the red rock formations with a distant thud that he felt more than heard. His rancher's instinct told him to keep driving, mind his own business. But his grandmother's voice echoed in his memory. "Help those who need it, Carter. That's what makes us human." With a resigned sigh, he turned the wheel and headed off-road, his truck bouncing over the rough terrain toward the crash site. 20 minutes later, Carter stood before something that shouldn't exist. The craft was sleek and organic-looking, its hull a pearlescent blue-white that seemed to shift colors in the sunlight. Scorch marks marred its surface, and a thin wisp of smoke rose from a damaged section near what he assumed was the engine. The hatch opened with a hiss, and Carter instinctively raised his hands, unsure whether he should be welcoming or defensive. What emerged was not what he expected. She was humanoid, but distinctly alien. Her skin had a faint lavender hue, and her eyes were larger than human eyes, a brilliant amber color that seemed to glow with their own light. She wore a form-fitting suit of deep purple material that seemed to ripple like liquid when she moved. Two delicate antennae rose from her temples, twitching nervously as she assessed him. "Please," she said in surprisingly clear English, though her accent was melodic and strange. "I mean no harm. My name is Anna. My vessel has malfunctioned." Carter slowly lowered his hands. "You speak English?" "Universal translator," she said, touching a small device at her collar. "I am a diplomatic envoy. My mission is peaceful, but my ship's quantum drive experienced a cascade failure. She wavered slightly, and Carter instinctively stepped forward to steady her. Her skin was warm to the touch, warmer than human. "You're hurt," he observed, noticing a bluish substance, her blood, he realized, seeping through a tear in her suit near her shoulder. "It is nothing critical," Anna said, though her amber eyes betrayed her pain. "But my ship. Without repairs, I cannot contact my delegation. They will think I have been lost. This could jeopardize the treaty negotiations between our species." Carter looked at the damaged spacecraft, then back at this strange, beautiful being who had literally fallen from the sky into his life. Every rational part of his brain screamed that he should call the authorities, let someone more qualified handle this situation. But the way she looked at him, hopeful, vulnerable, trusting, reminded him of an injured animal seeking help. "Come on," he said finally. "My ranch isn't far. We can patch you up. And I've got a workshop with tools. I'm pretty good with engines, though I admit yours looks a bit different from a Ford F-150. Anna's face transformed with relief, and Carter realized with a start that her smile was achingly similar to a human smile, genuine, warm, grateful. Over the next 3 days, an unlikely partnership formed. Carter brought his considerable mechanical skills to bear on Anna's damaged ship, while she guided him through the alien technology with patience and clarity. He learned that she was from a world called Velshara, 300 light-years from Earth, and that her people had been observing humanity for decades, impressed by their resilience and creativity, despite being a relatively young species. "Your people fascinate us," Anna said one evening as they worked side by side in Carter's workshop. The spacecraft's damaged drive core spread out before them on his workbench. "You face so many challenges, division, conflict, environmental crisis, yet you persist. You create art, music, stories. You help strangers like you helped me." Carter chuckled, wiping grease from his hands. "I think you're giving us too much credit. We're pretty good at messing things up, too." "But you try to fix them," Anna countered, her antennae tilting forward in what he'd learned was a gesture of emphasis. "That is what matters. When my ship fell from the sky, you could have feared me, captured me, harmed me. Instead, you offered help without hesitation. That is the humanity we see worth knowing." Her words struck something deep in Carter's chest. He'd never thought of himself as particularly special, just a rancher trying to make a living in a hard land. But seeing himself through Anna's eyes, he felt a flicker of pride in his species. On the fourth day, with the quantum drive finally repaired and humming with renewed energy, Anna prepared to depart. She stood beside her ship, looking at Carter with those luminous amber eyes. "I will not forget your kindness, Carter," she said softly. "When my people ask me about humanity, I will tell them about a young man in the desert who stopped his day to help a stranger from the stars. I will tell them that this is the measure of your species, not your weapons or your technology, but your capacity for compassion." Carter felt his throat tighten. Will Earth see you again?" Anna smiled. "The treaty will pass. My report will ensure it. And yes, Carter, we will see each other again. I promise you that." She touched a small device on her wrist, and a shimmering object materialized in her palm, a crystal that pulsed with soft light. "A gift," she said, pressing it into his hand. "It will let you call across the stars if you ever need me, or if you simply wish to talk." As her ship rose into the sky, leaving Carter standing alone in the desert with starlight in his hand, he realized that the universe had just become infinitely larger and infinitely more wondrous. And somewhere out there, among the stars, he had a friend who believed in the best of what humanity could be. That belief, he thought, was worth protecting.